Cancers, welcome to Vivid Vibration. My name is Christina. I hope that y'all are doing well. Oh, Cancers, we have the womb and the castle, the kiss, the maiden, and the starborn. Cancers. I feel like, in a way, I miss ponytails. Soon. It'll be fine. Sorry. I feel like, in a way, there's an idea here of just like trepidation, right? Because the womb is the idea of like safety and security, and the castle is the idea of destination and stagnation. And I feel like there's a part of you, Cancer, that feels like, on the one hand, while you're like, yes, I would love to have like a safe environment, like a safe place to settle into. Also, like, there are so many things that I want to do, and so many things that I want to see, and so many people that I want to meet, and you know what I mean? I feel like there's an idea here of like, there's so many things out there for me. There's so much for me to learn. There's so much for me to do. And yet, like, I'm craving intimacy. I'm craving security. But like, also kind of scared to death of the idea of it. Okay, Cancers. If this is in a relationship, it could be, like a job, a project where you're like, okay, do I really want to commit to this? I feel like is the question at hand. Like, do I commit to this, or will this long-term end up being a really bad idea? Because I don't know if it was our last read or a couple of reads ago, but it was just this idea of like, it's really easy to say no when you've been in something that has been so like the foundation of it is so wrong that like the only way to heal it is to break it down and rebuild it. And knowing how devastating that is, and how traumatizing that is, and how emotionally tumultuous and exhausting it is, that like you literally don't want to have to do that anymore. And so when people come at you on some, like, oh, like we could do this, and this, but then like backdoor information about like a relationship that they're already kind of in, or you know what I mean, and you're just kind of like, okay. You know what I mean? Like, I thought that was great until you kept talking, and then I was like, no, just kidding. Like, I'm trying to build something for me in my life that will be a safe, sturdy foundation, but that also simultaneously doesn't make me feel trapped. Like, I'm picking myself up out of the chaos, to find the strength to move forward. So I just feel like there's an idea here of being very particular about your decision making. Kudos, Cancer. Okay, let's see what else we get for Cancer. Sorry, my hair is a mess. The lighting is off. Sun setting. It's fine. Okay, the High Priestess, the Ace of Swords, life renewed, and the Page of Cups. Yes, because you've worked really hard to come into this, like, you're like a new way of approaching life, a new way of existing in life, and you followed your intuition to get you there, and you've worked hard, and you've, like, I want to say, like, kept my nose to the grindstone. You know what I mean? Like I didn't stop attempting to develop myself, work on myself, work on, like, my whatever, whether that's like you're doing daily exercises, or you're doing, like you're taking meditation classes, or you're taking drawing classes, or you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's just kind of like this. I never stopped developing myself, and I kind of did it on my own because it's my development, right? Like, that's not a group project. And yet I want to say you are hoping or wanting to, like, incorporate people in that. But I want to say you're requiring that only the good things are allowed to come. And if it's bad, if it's a red flag, if it's, like, if it's a 9 out of 10, but like that 1/10 is a deal breaker, then that 1/10 is a deal breaker. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to intentionally set myself up for failure on purpose ever again. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to let things slide the way that I let them slide before, when I figured out down the road that when you let things slide, then you end up in a fucking landslide, you know, knocked on your ass. Like, why would I do that to myself ever again? You know, because all that ends up being is something that like stuffy and confining and restrictive, and that's not okay when I'm trying to break out and explore. Okay, Cancers. Let's see what else we can get for y'all. The Six of Swords, the Four of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Star. I do feel like Cancer, some of my Cancers are moving. You know, it's just an idea of like, there's a lot of lack that needs to be healed. You know, like a lot of people who want to send you in different directions, people who want to do, you know, like take over, take control. You know, I feel like Cancers have just felt like, is anybody listening to me? Does anybody give a flying fuck about my opinion? You know what I mean? Like, hello? Is anybody there? You know what I mean? I feel like there's just kind of this idea of like, you just feeling like nobody really was listening to you, and nobody was really, they just wanted to come in and take over, but they weren't really taking you into consideration. And so you've had to move in a direction that like offers you the opportunity to really bring healing to that, you know, in its entirety, right? Because healing's a process. It doesn't just heal overnight, and you know, like, you've got to take time and you've got to put in the effort. And I feel like you're doing that, quite possibly moving, because of a new opportunity. You know, the Knight of Pentacles is oftentimes a new opportunity, that I want to say just makes you feel like maybe you're finally being included in the equation. Because how are people going to formula your life and keep you out of the equation, right? But like, that's what people want to do. And then you're like, okay, well, shoot. The dead end. Yeah, because it feels like a dead end. It feels like you're not really being seen in it. You're not really being heard in it. And so, you know, like, you've got to move in a different direction. But I think you're having to determine which direction is the safe direction and which direction is a direction that will lead you to like another dead end, right? And I feel like you have a choice. I feel like that was in one of our other reads too, right? Like you might have a choice to go in a couple of different directions, but I almost feel like which direction listens to you, sees you, acknowledges you, and honors you, and which direction wants to placate you in a convenient, and like, oh, that's convenient for me, so I'll push you in this direction because that's the direction that I'm already going in, right? Versus somebody who sees you